and welcome back to Aewdon Wrestling and to my predictions for AEW Double or Nothing 2024. And it's always one of the best nights of the year as an AEW fan. This is, isn't it? Double or Nothing. Always lots of great action on the card. And yeah, I have to say the card for this year's event looks stacked as well. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. And we're going to start off on the buy-in with Thunder Rosa taking on Deonna Purrazzo. And yeah, this is an interesting match because obviously both of these women have been involved in the title picture in the not too recent picture, and both obviously lost out. So yeah, it'd be intriguing to see how this one goes. I think Deonna Purrazzo coming into AEW new, she kind of hasn't really had that big win yet, so I think she'll be wanting to get that win here. But Thunder Rosa also could do with momentum after obviously losing out in the title match earlier. So I'm going to say Deonna will get the win. I think she needs it more before it's time for the Acclaimed against Gates of Agony. And I have to say, I'm very much not really enthused about these matches, to be honest. It just kind of feels like we've seen it a lot, really, these two going at it, but in a way that I'm just not that bothered by it, because I think both these things just been booked in the ground. They did have an opportunity to do lots with both these things. I just don't really feel like they've utilised it in a way. But I think the Gates of Agony need to win more, especially after being done by Swerve like that. So I'm going to say they'll get the win. But moving on then to Roderick Strong against Will Ospreay for the International Championship. And I think, yeah, this is going to be Ospreay. I think Strong's had a decent run with it, but I think it fit Ospreay more. And yeah, him having that belt throughout the summer could be really good. I feel like they're going to have him going on to challenge Swerve at Wembley, and potentially they could unite the two titles, because it does feel like AEW does have too many titles at the moment. But I think Ospreay will get the win here. I think it'll be a banger of the match. But yeah, with the momentum, it just really makes sense for Ospreay to pick up the win here, doesn't it? Before it's time for the Bang Bang Gang against Death Triangle, and this is an interesting one. Obviously great to see the Bang Bang Gang back in action, Death Triangle back in action, and yeah, the Bang Bang Gang are interesting opponents. I don't know if the belts are on the line for this match. I presume they are. So I think Death Triangle could win the belts, but I think at the same time, I think Bang Bang Gang at the same time just will probably want to keep them for a bit longer, because they've only won it recently. So I'm going to say they'll get the win. It'll be a really competitive match, and we could well see a smozzy finish or something like that. Before it's time for Timeless Tony against Serena Deeb. And yeah, I'm really invested in this story. Deeb's been really good since she's come back. You know, her technical prowess. Speaking about her genuine real life story, the way she's come back has been really good. But at the same time, the Timeless Tony character seems really good still, and I think still is the main focus of the women's division at the moment. And I'm not sure if AEW will have her drop the belt just about now, to be honest. So I'm going to say it'll be Timeless Tony who retains the belt here. Moving on then to Orange Cassidy against Trent Beretta, and this is interesting. It's obviously a few weeks back on TV. Cassidy got the win, so will they give Beretta the win here to make it even, or will they have Cassidy as a winner of the feud? I don't know. It's interesting because you probably say Cassidy is the higher level star, but at the same time Beretta could really do with a win. I can see it going back and forth, maybe some bits of interference, but yeah, I'm finding this a hard one to call, to be honest. But I'm going to say that Cassidy will get the win, kind of find some momentum and go on to another feud maybe. Now we've come out the championship scene. But moving on then to Jericho against Hook and Shibata. And yeah, I think it's fair to say the learning tree character is Jericho. I mean, he's playing up to it as a heel well, but at the same time, it's just not really clicking with the audience. And I feel like here, it's the FTW title. I'm not totally convinced it's really right for Jericho at this moment in time, to be honest. I think Hook, as a young star, deserves it. Shibata's been great also, but I think Hook really thrived from having his dad's belt in a way. So I'm going to say Hook will get it back. Maybe he'll pin Shibata or something like that, but I think, yeah, Hook should win here. But moving on then to John Moxley taking on Konosuke Takeshita, and we saw the beatdown from the Don Callis family on Collision. But I think Mox, will come into this one I think as the champ, they're going to put on a banger of the match, but with it just being an elimination match, does that potentially tie into Takeshita winning? I'm personally not sure it does. I think Mox will still put it away. I think it'll be a brutal match, but I think Mox will get the win and, kind of continue his dominant reign with the New Japan belt so far. Before he moved on to Adam Copeland against Malachi Black. And this is another really interesting match. Copeland and Black have obviously been in ahead of a rivalry. Copeland kind of turning more and more to the dirty side because of the actions of the House of Black leader, and of course it's led to it being this barbed wire steel cage match stipulation, which is only going to make it more brutal. That could well tie into the hands of Black, though, you feel, as well as Copeland with that danger. But I personally can't see Copeland losing the belt just yet. I think we'll have a bit more to go. I think it'll be a brilliant match, but I think Copeland will get the win. Before it's time for Willow Nightingale taking on Mercedes Moné, I think they try tried to tease that Willow could get the win here, but I personally don't feel like she can. I think, it's going to be one-way traffic. I think Mercedes will get the win to kind of re-establish her dominance at the top of the women's division, and her first match in AEW, I don't think they'll have her lose. Obviously it goes back to history with these two, but I think Monet will kind of get her revenge and get the win here before it's time for Swerve against Christian Cage for the AEW World Championship. Swerve coming into this one, I think the favourite, Christian Cage, just kind of feels like a good first challenger. Obviously, hand chosen by the Young Bucks, but I think, of course, Christian will lead him to have a really decent match. But I don't think Swerve will be losing the title yet. And Christian being off TV for a while, having lost his TNT title, just doesn't really feel like the man to take over as AEW champion at the moment. So I think it's fairly easy to say that Swerve will be retaining this one. Moving on then to what I presume will be the main event, and one that I can't wait for: Anarchy in the Arena, the Elite against Harwood, Wheeler, Allen and Danielson. And this is going to be a violent, brutal match from start to finish, you feel like. But I think, it kind of feels like a meshed together team for the babyfaces. But the Elite, this could be a real chance to establish their dominance, showcase what they can do. Okada in the main event. I'm going to say it'll be them who gets the win in what will undoubtedly be a violent match. Hey guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.